A day after the shooting, I spoke in Uvalde with Angel Garza, whose stepdaughter, Amory Jo, was murdered at Robb Elementary just a week and a half after she'd celebrated her 10th birthday. I spoke with him tonight just before the school board meeting. Angel, this report that was released over the weekend, hearing about the myriad failures that took place, and there's still obviously a lot to learn. What did you think when you saw that report?
It's disappointment. I mean, it's just, I guess, clarification that stuff we already knew, but getting the clarification does make it a little harder. All of this stuff is hard. Every time something comes out, it's just like reliving the situation over and over again.
How have you gotten through the last few weeks?
My wife, my son, and actually the parents of the other family, or the families of the rest of the victims, we actually all have come together and spoken to one another, and we've really become a family of our own, and we help each other as much as we can.
I don't think I've ever reported on a tragedy like this in which the families have been kept in the dark for so long by everyone, it seems, and even at this stage, the lack of answers. Do you feel that? I mean, are you at this stage, what does accountability look like for you?
Everybody says that. People tell me that they've never seen anything like this. Agencies arguing amongst each other, trying to point the finger on who did this and who did what. I mean, Highland Park happened after us, and but I already know everything about that. We know everything at all. I mean, we know everything. So it makes no sense that there's still things that aren't answered about this. It's humiliating to us. It makes us feel like our kids can't rest in peace. All this arguing and bickering and lying to our face, it doesn't help our situation at all.
Do you believe that the truth will come out in the end?
I guess that's all that us parents are hoping for. We want to, fight until we do get the answers that we're looking for. We deserve that. Our children deserve that. And that's really what it's about. We want our babies to rest in peace. We want to know so we can grieve properly, so we can try to move forward and try to start a new normal. I mean, nobody's ever going to be the same after this.
One of the officials a couple of weeks ago was sort of cornered by one of our reporters, Shimon Prokupecz, and one of the things he said to our reporter was that he would speak and release information once the families stopped grieving. And when I heard that, I thought, well, there's never going to be a time when that pain is not there. I'm wondering if you heard him say that and what you thought when you heard that.
I actually didn't. I wasn't aware of that. I mean, I think us parents think that hearing people, release information or keep information, they're doing it for us. It's a complete lie. If they have information and they want to tell us as a family, then tell us as a family. Don't release it to the public. Don't, try to get recognition off of a situation like that, because that just humiliates us. Like, we lost our children. This isn't something that, somebody should be gaining anything off of.
You're about to go into the first school board meeting since your daughter, Amory Jo, was killed. What do you hope will happen there? What are you expecting?
Um, I'm expecting actually a lot of angry parents. Apparently, there was chances to fix the security system or fix the locks at least, and they were just ignored. And a lot of parents are pretty upset about that. So um, I expect a lot of parents just to give them a piece of their mind, and hopefully they listen. Everybody, says that they want to help us. Well, if they listen to us and they, make change, then that'll definitely give us some type of happiness.
The first day of the new school year in Uvalde is supposed to be 4 weeks from today. I understand it's going to be announced tonight that it won't be until September now. In your mind, has anything at all changed to make parents feel safe to send their kids back to school?
Absolutely not. I feel if anything, I mean, it's getting worse. The lack of knowledge, the lack of just, it seems like urgency. I mean, everybody says like this is gonna take time, this is gonna take time, but I mean, we're almost end of July. I mean, school's gonna be here before they know it, and nobody wants to send their children to school after this. I mean, who would want to send their children to school? Like, I sent Amory to school that morning thinking I was gonna pick her up that day. So who's gonna be comfortable enough to know that their child's gonna be okay for them to pick them up that day?
You have a son. Will you be sending him to school given where things stand, or how do you make those choices?
As of right now, our son will probably be homeschooled. He's not going to be going to school right now. That's something that we're dealing with. He's having a lot of just separation issues himself, so we just want to take care of our family right now and all the other families that are affected by this.
Angel Garza, I really appreciate talking to you, and I wish your family continued strength in the days ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. There is one thing I want to add before I let you guys go.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of confusion on the subject of Amory and her biological father. I'm not Amory's biological father. I've never claimed to be Amory's biological father. Amory has a biological father, and she knew she had a father, and she loves him. I will never try to discredit anyone in this situation at all. I refer to myself as daddy because I earned that. She called me that. The morning I dropped her off, she said, "I love you, daddy." That's the only reason I refer to myself as daddy, because I've been with Kimberly since she was 8 months old. And she's lived with us the entire time. So I just wanted to clear up that for the air for anybody. I'm not trying to discredit anyone. I'm just a grieving stepfather.
I understand. That's certainly not a question we ever raised, but I understand maybe somebody did a long time ago, and I think it's very clear how your relationship. Angel Garza, thank you so much.